I am just waiting on people to join. This is new to me. All right, we got someone here, whoever that is. I can't see any comments yet. If you can hear me well, please type in a comment or something so I can see whatever, because I'm not sure how to run this thing. Okay, there's 2 people. I'm not sure how to run this thing. So just leave a comment. Okay, all right. Makari. All right, okay, I see you. All right, now we have 1 person here. Okay, now I see why you didn't get to see all of my comments, because the comments will show up and it'll disappear. But if you can hear me well, type in a comment or something. I don't know. But I guess we couldn't do the... Okay, good. So I guess we couldn't do the live dual chat. I guess that was my fault, man. I should have did a little bit of research on how to do that. Didn't mean to waste anybody's time. But I'm pretty sure we'll get it figured out sooner or later. We're going to get better at this, as time goes on. So, yeah. All right. Still got 1 person. I'm waiting on that one guy that was talking about the Illuminati. And I want to kind of explain to him that the Illuminati is just something to grab your attention, right? Now, I think he said that on your channel. So if you know that, then you already know. Well, then you should already know that that's perception management. Perception management is something that I learned in college, where that they'll put some major on the major news feed like CNN or something like that, just to grab your attention away from the real deal. But the Illuminati is talking about something esoteric. So they're talking about the illuminated people, which is the another name for the Asuras in the Vedic text. And you guys, there's only 1 person out there, but it's saying I have a bad connection, so just comment here and there just to confirm that you're still there. But anyways, uh, just to talk about the kind of add on to the Illuminati and Illuminated ones, or the Asuras. There's a chapter in this Gnostic book here, the Gnostic Scriptures, Ancient Wisdom for the New Age. Bentley Layton. Hold on, somebody hit me up. Oh yeah, that video must have uploaded. Are you still there? Anybody? Anybody still there? Send me a comment, please. All right, good. All right, well, I guess it's just you, bro. I guess the other guys will come whenever they want. But I don't know if you have this book or not. If you don't, then you might need to try to get it, man. You know, just to see what's up. But I'm gonna get in this chapter real quick. I'm gonna show that one guy about the Illuminati. See, the thing is, we get stuck on different terminologies and different verbiage. So the Shining Ones in Gnosticism, is the same as the Asuras and the Vedic texts, or the ancient Hindus and stuff. The Asuras, the Shining Ones, the Christ energy is the same thing as saying the Illuminati, the illuminated ones. So if the Gnostics were killed off, now I talked about this book in one of my videos. If the Gnostics were killed off, all right, and they were deemed evil, okay, that means that the Illuminati must be the illuminated ones, because if you got to really be analyzed, is deemed evil, then that must be the Gnostics, because I'm going to tell you this. It says in this book, get a good look at it. It tells you in this book that I explained this in my last video. It talks about how the original Gnostics were killed off, and the system that the Gnostics had at that time is still being used, and the original Gnostics were deemed evil, and it was used against the original people. So when you talk about the Illuminati being deemed evil, then you talking about the illuminated ones, okay? The gods of the underworld, the Osirian beings. You are the illuminated ones. You are the Illuminati. There is no such thing as Illuminati that's going to come and abduct you, or whatever the case is. That's all government conspiracies and things of that nature. We're talking about esoteric terminology, which is the octet. The octet in Gnosticism is 8. In Egyptian, it's called the Agdo, which is 8. Those are the melanated spirits inside of the body, the chakra system. I told you that these are all different verbiage, all different terminology. You just got to know the correspondence when you're dealing with this stuff, man. So when you say the Illuminati, that's basically saying the same thing as the Christians and the modern major world religions is teaching people that the devil and Jesus is going to come and get you or whatever. God, okay? That's it. These aren't the only books I have that's dealing with Gnosticism. I just got these because I know these books are a good correspondence that can that you can go back to. But like I said, this video was originally for me and Mercari, or I hope I'm saying it right, Mercari or Mercury, I know one of your videos you talked about how you got your name, and I think that's what's up, bro. All right, big ups on that. I like how you got your name, Mercury. That's some cool shit. I got my name Erebus. It was just a thought form, and I never even heard of the word or the entity or the primordial entity called Erebus. I just stumbled upon it as I was doing research upon these guys and goddesses and looking up the mythology, and like how Mercury got his name, he felt as if that entity, he felt like that entity resonated with him. Okay, so when I stumbled upon Erebus and I did the research, okay, I felt like that resonated with me, because even before I got into consciousness, even before I started waking up, I was dead. And I remember people will call me darkness. Okay, now even though that was supposed to be derogatory, because some of us grew up, it's okay. Let me go back, because some of us black conscious people, we grew up in a low density, very ignorant society where even in the black neighborhoods, they tease you about your dark skin color. Okay. So we're talking about oppression that's beyond oppression. Okay. But at that, I mean, so when I was being called darkness, even that was spiritual. So, I don't know. I just stumbled upon the name Erebus Zeptepi, and my consort is Nyx, and that's how I roll. You know what I'm saying? We all come all from all walks of life. You know. But that's the whole thing on the Illuminati thing. You know, that's see, because it's when they get into this information, they still have a Christian esoteric mindset, the yang mindset. Okay, so the whole point of this is to go to the yin. This is the yang. The yang is the physical. The yang is the apparent. Okay, we're talking about the yin. We're pulling from the yin. Now, in Gnosticism, the yin is Barbello, the omniverse. Okay, when you look at it as ancient Egyptians, it will be the primordial waters, or the primordial abyss, or the primordial waters of noon, or things of that nature. Okay, it's like I said before. In this book here, it talk about the shining ones. The shining ones will be the illuminated people. That's the etymology of black and white. We have to study these things so we can have a full understanding, so we won't be living in fear, talking about if I be good, I mean, we already know that. You know what I'm saying? We already know how to be good. We already know we're being human now. We're trying to figure this thing out. So that's why I wanted to do this. But let me get to my point. Totally got off course. So give me a second. I want to talk about the shining ones to you guys, or to Mercury. Even though he already knows, but the thing about this is, when you know, there's still so much more to know, because all this is fragmented. Okay, I'm learning that. All this is fragmented. All of it. And you know what? I also want to bring up, because last night, the reason why my battery was low is because not only I'll listen to a lot of Bobby lectures, not only I listen to a lot of Delwood Blair, but I go and listen to white folks. Okay? I am not afraid to hear contradicting information. All right. Actually, I love that because if you study the ancient world, they were counterintuitive people. Okay. That means a lot. They were very advanced. All right. So when I hear some, modern technology is they didn't have technology like they did today. No, that's some bullshit. Anything that you see today, TVs, cell phones, satellites, all that shit already existed. It was just in a different form. Everything, it's just like Bobby said one time. He said, this world was built out of several other primal worlds. And I can show you that in this book also. And this one, okay? This one tells you that everything is owed to Gnosticism, to the Gnosticos. So by that being said, that this situation you're in now is your own fault. Okay? It's just that people, they want a God. They want to make up this God so they won't have to deal with their own problems. Why in Christianity, in the Bible, it equates to you talking about the children that you have or your little cousin. No, he's talking about childlike adults. All right? People who want to be led. People who want to something to pray on so they can feel like they are relieved of their problems. And is no, it doesn't work that way. You are the only problem. All right? Now, some of us, we had to go through certain things, and it's demiurge to wake up. Okay, that's what stress is. Stress only wakes up the melanin. That's why we're going through this shit. All right. Let me get back to the point. So just give me a second. Oh yeah. Let's see. Here's Thoth. I want to show you something about Thoth here. He said that you were the god Hermes, talking to Mercury. You're associated with the god Hermes and Thoth or Thought. And Gnosticism, in ancient Egyptian, Thoth or Hermes, he was a self-creator entity or deity because your thoughts are basically self-created. Yeah, I'm okay with that. All right. I'm all right with that. And bro, I'm not trying to get publicity. I'm not trying to get popular in this. Man, I really want a lot of people. This is only for a select few. I ain't trying to, buy subscribers and do it like that. I ain't with all that, bro. I mean, I feel like what Gnosis taught me is I don't need a God to get me a fucking car. I don't need some God to get me a house. I don't need a God to pray on to give me this or give me that. I don't need a God to get me out of trouble. All right? That's what the pagans and the ancients understood. They were advanced enough to know that they were their own entity. So in other words, if I want a house, if I want a car, I go out in the physical and I go work physically to the simple. That's it. All right. That's it. All right. Okay. Let me see, man. It's in the back of the book. I just want to talk about this Illuminati to this guy. This book is amazing. Seriously. I mean, it talks about the fashioning of the physical bodies. It talks about the making of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, all that shit. All of that shit. It talks about how the flesh, how the body is just a fucking, what do you call? The body is a fetter or a trap or a walking septic tank, really. So you want to bury the body, basically burying the body with shit, full of shit. You basically just turn to shit. That's it. That's what it means. You really ain't doing shit. So I got into a little scuffle with the guy because I commented on one of Dr. Africa's YouTube videos, and I didn't say anything derogatory. I mean, I understood what Africa was talking about, but like I said, I mean, when you in gnosis, you understand there is no diet plan that's going to get you out of this. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, diet is good. You know, if you want more consciousness, I believe that, yeah, diet does matter. You know, because we know why the beef is sacred in Hinduism. You know, the beef subconsciously puts you to sleep. It symbolizes sleep. The cow symbolizes sleep. You got to get off that beef. Okay. And I remember, I mean, you know what? And I know this world isn't perfect. I'm not going to sit up here and talk shit like I've been doing this all my life. No, I was dead at one point. I was eating hamburgers and shit every fucking day. I was eating that shit. I was doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, some of us had to go through this in order to learn, you know. But let me, so, you know, it's been a while. Like I said, so the diet really does matter, but when it comes to gnosis, it don't, because gnosis teaches you that you are oppressed on a cosmic level. So a diet plan won't get you out of this. Hell, I know white folks will tell you that shit, and I trust me, by me being one of the conscious that's out here working, or not working, slaving on a plantation every day, and you got white folks on the plantation too, slaving for the fucking money, and this is what gnosis, the Gnostic scriptures teaches you, that you will be slaves to your desire, to your egos, to your wants and needs. This is what this is. You will be slave to ignorance and all that good stuff, man. This is esoteric information. Okay? We're talking about inner workings, inner dealings, inner knowing. So let me get to this. I keep on coming up with shit to say. Let me get to this real quick. I got it highlighted. I just need to find it. I want to talk about the shining ones and how they, in the Vedic, they were known as the shining ones. We were known as the shining ones. So basically, in my imagination, the shining ones, they were talking about they didn't have physical bodies. So at that time, they were maneuvering as gods, and they can materialize and dematerialize into anything that they wanted. That is when the vibratory rate was much, much, much faster. Okay, when the vibratory rate slowed down, that's when we slowed down. We got miscegenated and trapped into the physical. Okay, so that shining one, or that burning bush, or your soul, is burning off the physical body, which is that soot. That's how you get the god soot, or the goddess soot, or whatever you want to call it. That soot is the shadow. That's what Bobby's talking about. That's the shadow. All right, that's the shadow. It's soot. It's just different verbiage, different terminologies, but we're talking about the same shit. So I don't understand why you have these so-called different conscious people, all these Egyptian people, all these Hebrew people, and they all arguing. When we're talking about the same thing, it baffles me. I don't understand that. I really don't. And then it comes to me and said, oh, they're all still religious. They're all still thinking in a religified concept. That's why they're arguing. I said, okay, I get it. They haven't caught on to the esoteric information. They're still missing a bunch of pieces to the puzzle. And some of us are actually getting this shit. All right. Let me talk about the shining ones real quick. I gotta find this. Oh, you know what? I'll check this out. They said this is the chapter called Gospel of Truth. And I remember Bobby mentioned the Gnostic Gospels in one of his videos. Now this is called the Crucified Jesus, the God within, within. Okay, within. I'm gonna show you this. I have these things highlighted. I'm gonna read this a little bit. All right. It said, "It is to the perfect. It is to the perfect that this proclamation of the one they search for has made itself known through the mercies of the Father. By this hidden mystery, Jesus Christ shed light upon those who were, because of forgetfulness in darkness, he enlightened them and gave them a way, and the way is the truth, about which he instructed them. For this reason, error became angry at him and persecuted him. She was constrained by him and became inactive." Okay. He he was he was nailed to a tree and became fruit of the Father's acquaintance. Yet to those who ate of it, it gave the possibility that whoever he discovered within himself might be joyful in discovery of him. As for him, they discovered him within them, the inconceivable, uncontaminated, the Father who is perfect, who created the entirety. Okay, so that was talking about the Christ energy being crucified within. So basically, it's like Bobby said, sublime mythology makes grotesque history. So basically, the crucified Jesus that the Christians are talking about is the crucifixion of your soul inside of the body, your heart chakra. Jesus represents the heart chakra. So if you came into this incarnation, resonated at the heart chakra, and you see the world, you see what's wrong with the world, that heart chakra is in pain. That's the crucifixion. That's the Christ crucifixion. You are hurting from the inside out. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody else on earth going through that but the illuminated ones. All right? I just wanted to shed a little light on that. Let me keep looking though. Let me keep looking. So, like I said, I'm not going to be on here for long, man. I just wanted to talk about some things since we couldn't really do how we wanted to do. I'm not going to, keep you on listening and shit. I know this stuff can get overwhelming. So just hold on. Let me find this chapter, man. I know it got to be in here. All right, well here's another version of the illuminated ones here. It says, okay, now this chapter is called the Gnostic Teachings, according to Saint Irenaeus. All right, now this is different Gnostic versions. Now this is production of the material bodies for this. Now previously Adam and Eve had the nimble shining. Hold on. Let me go back. Now previously, Adam and Eve had the nimble shining as it were spiritual bodies, and that had been modeled at their creation. But then they became hither. These changed in melanin. That's stasis. That's that sediment. That's the vibratory rate being slowed down. That's why Bobby said that we have to drink a large amount of water to loosen that dense shit up. Because in the Gnostic teachings, you can go to the website called the GnosticTeachings.org. It teaches you that your brain is not connected to the skull. It is floating in seminal fluid, which is water and your sperm. Okay? We have to loosen that shit up. Alright, I'm going to read that again. Production of the material bodies for Adam and Eve. Now, previously means before. Now, I told y'all before the shining ones, okay? Adam and Eve had the nimble shining as it were spiritual bodies. They had been modeled at their creation. But when they became hither, these changed into darker and denser and more sluggish bodies. They talking about the first fruit race. Okay? Here's another paragraph. Adaptation to the material life, the physical. Their souls were also inattentive and listeningless, insomuch as they had received from their Maker a merely worldly inbreathing, until their vulgar wisdom had pity on them and restored to them the good fragrance of the secretion of light. Okay. The souls were inattentive. So what does that mean? When Christ died in the physical bodies, as they became into the physical, the bodies was dense. So the soul became inattentive, which means the soul fell asleep. All right? The soul fell asleep in the physical body. That's the sleeping Buddha in Buddhism. The Buddha is you become the Buddha when your soul is awakened. You see what I'm saying? You become the Buddha when the soul is awakened. All right? So their souls were also inattentive and listeningness. So they're just like black people today. Their sleeping souls is not attentive to this consciousness and it doesn't listen. They're talking about the people today. This is Gnostic. The Nag Hammadi Egypt. Bobby was right. These people knew that they were going to fall into a dormant stage. So they wrote these texts. So when the archaeologists and alright, back. Okay, so the souls were inattentive and listeningless, insomuch they received from their Maker a merely worldly inbreathing, until the vulgar wisdom had pity on them and restored to them the good fragrance of the secretion of light. Okay. By means of this, they came to a recollection of themselves. They came to a recollection of themselves. So that is us today recollecting our consciousness. Okay? A good example of this will be on the movie Wrath of the Titans. When Zeus went to the underworld to meet his two brothers, Hades and Poseidon. When they seen Kronos, if you look very carefully, Kronos was a giant, but you gotta look. When they showed the Titan Kronos, he was just like this. He was positioned as he was on the cross. Okay? And Zeus was positioned the same way as he was on the cross. That was telling you right there. You got to pay very close attention to what they're trying to tell you. Kronos represents you. And Hades told him, he said, Kronos is regaining his power. And as you see Kronos regaining his power, it was very slowly. He was a titan. So it took a while to him to recollect his consciousness that the gods, his children, stole from him. That is also in the beginning of this book, how it tells you that the gods stole light from the Omniverse, which is the realm of the Titans, which is the realm that we get our light from. The Gnosticos, the Gnostics. That is us. All right. Where was I? Oh yeah. Now, by means of this, they became to a recollection of themselves and recognized that they were naked and that their bodies were made of matter. And they recognized that they carried death about with them. And they existed patiently, recognizing that the bodies would envelop them only for a time. So in other words, the Gnostics understood that this material world that we are living in today was not meant to have all of this. All this bullshit. TVs and rings and necklaces and all this cell phone crap. All of that. Because they knew that this was only for a short period of time. That's why you got the saying, life is short. Life is short. Dude, I'm fucking 28 years old. 28, 38, 48, 58. Only 28, 30, 40, 58. Only got like 40 something years. And that's it. That shit goes 28 years went by fast. Only got 40 fucking years. And you're probably dead. You know what I'm saying? So that's why Bobby and them saying, Phil and all of them, they say this shit really don't matter, because it really don't matter. It really does not matter. You know, it really don't matter. And they understand that. Okay, I'm gonna read that again. Adaptation to the material life. Their souls also were inattentive and not listening, insomuch as they had received from their Maker a merely worldly inbreathing, until their Evoker had pity on them and restored to them their consciousness, the secretion of light. I explained that what that was. By means of this, they came to a recollection of themselves and recognized that they were naked. They were naked, which means that they recognized how dead and how much knowledge and consciousness that they lost. Okay? So yeah, who are the naked ones today? Black people. We are the most ignorant motherfuckers walking around. Everybody knows this. And if that is not humiliating to you, then you're probably not as conscious as you thought you were. Because when you start recollecting your consciousness, you start realizing your surroundings and this physical world that you're living in. And then you start having some serious self-reflection. You go through these things. Okay, these are all inner workings. You go through these phases, and then once you go through those, you start becoming a little bit psychic. Like, I can almost go to work and I can just almost hear what a motherfucker is thinking. And then I'll get a clue what I'm saying or what I'm thinking is actually accurate. Something that happened or something what happened or manifest small in the physical to let me know that what I was feeling at that time from that person was actually accurate. Okay? You go through that shit. And I'm telling you right now, water helps. Water helps. I don't drink nothing but water. Every now and then I might have a cup of juice just to satisfy the taste buds, because you gotta treat yourself. And I notice every time I treat myself with something sweet, I'll get a thanks from the ancestors, because like I said, the ancestors are in you. Bobby said that. David Blair said that the ancestors are inside of you. That's your light. So you call yourself the god Mercury. He is your ancestor. He is in you. So every time you treat yourself with something sweet, they like that shit. And every time I do sweeten up the taste buds, I get a little bit of light. Like they'll show me things, like they give me vision. And I might make a video and I'll share that light with like-minded people. That's how I do. That's just my chaos. That's my chaos magic. That's my chaos magic. We all have our own shit. You know. But so yeah. I didn't take I didn't mean to take this long, guys. But yeah. This book here is just amazing. But last night I was looking at some stuff on YouTube that these white people are posting. And they're coming out with some counter consciousness going on. Okay? And I would like to discuss that shit. Because what I'm seeing in the black conscious community, all I'm seeing is that they're attacking each other. Why can't these guys attack the real people that's actually doing this shit, that's actually using this information against you? So in other words, these huge conscious group people that's actually on YouTube, that's got like 10,000 subscribers, that know all this consciousness and all this, why can't they call out the Pope? Why can't they call out some Jews or something? Like that's my question. Why are we attacking each other? I always had that question to a lot of conscious people that's calling themselves Amen Ra or Amen Ra, whatever. I'm not attacking you. That's just my question, because that's just showing that you guys are still kind of afraid to go out of your comfort zone. And that shows that you're still suffering from an inferiority complex. You have to get over that. You have to get over that shit. See, the people who see past the apparent, we don't have an inferiority complex to Caucasians. Okay? That's some serious shit. That's some serious shit. Now, that's something dealing with your inner workings you have to get over. That's some serious shit. Because they see that. White folks see that. Now, don't think the white man is some punk ass motherfucker. All right, now he ain't. I'm gonna tell you, just like Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. I'm gonna tell you what she said in one of her fucking videos. They had to work hard. They worked hard in order to get where they at now. So there's gonna be some shit before shit hit the fan. They ain't gonna let go of this shit without no motherfucking fight. They not. So, just saying now, because they listening to all this. They just sitting back and they listening to all this shit that we talking. They listening, and they coming out with their own fucking shit too. So, I'm not, this is not some one-sided ass fucking shit, because I got books from black Afrocentrist people and I got books from white people saying the same shit. I look at both sides. I don't just look at, well, it was all black at once, I'm gonna say, no, that's my ego. I want to hear a white folks saying too. I want to hear both. That's how you collect the consciousness. That's how you decipher what's going on. I'm gonna find this goddamn chapter though before it's all over with. I'm gonna find this shit here. Sure am. This book actually talks about how this world is injustice. And they talk about how Cain is an unjust God that killed Abel. So if Cain killed Abel and he's an unjust God that took over, that means, and he's a Yaldabaoth offspring. That's why I don't believe when Bobby and Panic say that Yaldabaoth is dead. No, I don't believe that. Because I'm like I said, I've been looking at this book, man. What it does, okay, since that Yaldabaoth name might have died, but his consciousness was transferred into his offspring, which is Cain. And then later on, the authority figures. Okay? Now, let me keep on going, man, because it's a lot that we gotta look at. It's a whole lot we gotta look at. You know? Fuck. Oh well. Can't find. I guarantee you, after I get off of here, I'm gonna find that shit. I'm gonna find that. And I'm gonna be pissed the hell off. And I found that when I got off. That's what's gonna make me mad. Shit like that happens. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that happens. It talks about the shining ones, man. And it gives a good example of what was going on with the shining ones and the Christ energy. And it gives a good example of the etymology of the whole black and white thing. You know what I'm saying? And we got to study that, because you don't want to keep calling yourself black, because you call yourself black, that's actually entity. In the yang, which is this world, the Exodus world, black means every get trees and shit that black people were getting, all this fancy colleges that we're going to, we still can't read. You still can't read. My sister got 2 degrees, 2 masters, and she is her own entity. She has educated herself, and she's still working for somebody. So, but you still cannot read, and they know this. They know this. White folks know this, because they were the ones. Their ancestors are the ones that took over all the knowledge and information. So, just saying, just you need to be aware of your surroundings. You need to be aware of your surroundings. Let's see here. So yeah, but like I said, this video was mainly for me and Mercury, so we can have a little dual chat. Not debating. We weren't gonna be debating on who's right and who's wrong. It was just basically, it was gonna be sharing information. But right now, Mercury, I'm gonna go ahead and save this shining one discussion for another video for you, man. I'm having a hard time. I thought highlighted it, but I guess I didn't. That would have been a very good example of what's going on. But yeah, I mean that's basically, man, what's going on, man. Just let me know when you're done. Send me a text, man, so we can end it, and I'll go to your channel, and I want to see, what you got to say, and we can go from there. So just let me know what's up. Well, you know what? Hold on. This chapter is talking about the classification of the souls. This is a very important topic here because Bobby was talking about that in a lot of his lectures about you got different classification of these souls. You got the automatons, you got the conscious, and you have different classifications of the souls here. And this chapter is actually explaining this real quick. Okay. This chapter is called The Oracles of the Zoroasters, God of Truth. The Oracles of Zoroaster. So I guess that's another name for the Zohar. Okay. This book here, the Gnostic Scripture. Let me read a paragraph out of here real quick. I highlighted a lot of stuff as I went through because I knew one day I was going to start talking out of this book. Okay, now this one says, this paragraph is called The Classification of Souls. I got it highlighted. Classification of the souls. Now, difference among souls, for when it is supposed that they display differences. Now, those that are wholly uncontaminated display four kinds, but those that are within the realm of time are ninefold. Each of them has its own kind of custom, and their images are different from one another, distinct and stable. And other souls, which are immortal, coexist along with all of Afro-minute souls because of wisdom, who gaze down. Indeed, there are three kinds of immortal souls. First are those who have become rooted and sojourn and do not have the power of being engendered, for it rests only with those who follow works of others. I'm saying that again. The followers who want to be in a religion, who need to be taught, who need to be led. Indeed, there are three kinds of immortal souls. The first are those who have become rooted and sojourn, and do not have the power of being engendered, for it rests only with those who follow work of others. Since this is a unitary type, they have sinned along with others and have repented along with others from their own selves. So it's basically, they're talking about the ones who become conscious, and but they're on a level where they're like semi-conscious. They have repented to themselves. They repented to the horrific acts that they did upon themselves. So basically, the people that go to church got it backwards. That's agnostic. When you go to church, that is an agnostic way of I'm a pray. All right. And those who have committed all kinds of sins have repented. Either they are parts or they have willed in their own accord. Thus also their aeons are sixfold as regards its places that accurate to each of them. Third is a type of souls that belong to the self-originates and possess an utterance of the ineffable truth. An utterance that exists in acquaintance. Now, in Gnosticism, acquaintance means knowledge or knowing. Exists in acquaintance and power out of them and the eternal life. And they display four varieties according as they are the kinds of angels who love truth, those who hope, those who believe. All right. They're talking now that those we're talking about the Gnostics. Okay. Who love the truth, who believe in the truth, and we hope for truth and more knowledge. That's what we do. That is how we are saved, is through knowledge. That's what it means. It tells you that in the Bible that it would be a large group of people that's going to perish due to a lack of knowledge, because due to knowledge and consciousness in order to save themselves. Okay? Let's see here. So yeah, man. That's all I'm gonna do for now. Oh, you know what? I'm at a little conundrum here with the masculine and the feminine energy. Now, before I end this video, I kind of want to hear your thoughts on this, Mercury, about the mother being the masculine and male being, which means black in Greek. You have the feminine energy. Now, in this Gnostic book, Sophia or Eve was put into Adam. So by that being said, mythology makes grotesque history. So we're talking about something that is totally opposite from what you are on the physical. So give me I want to hear your thoughts on this, or whatever I say. If you have any questions, let me know. But I'm going to end this, man. I'm going to be out. All right? All right, peace out. How can I end this shit?